Hello, everyone. GameGoddessFee here. I keep on forgetting to unmute this mic. How y'all doing tonight? All right. If y'all can see, happy birthday, Game Queen 81. It's one of my day ones. So, yeah, I'm going to celebrate her tonight. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So, we are back with Ace Attorney. We do have the new game that just came out, Apollo Justice, the trilogy. So we're gonna see about this game, you all. I hope you all enjoy, and thank you for watching. Y'all ready? Where Yeety? Where Yeety?
Don't judge my
Where
gameplay.
Yeety?
Don't judge my gameplay taste, y'all.
Really? Hold on, y'all. I wanted him to be here so he could see the beginning of the case. But anyway, y'all ready? Who all in there? Press my iPad. I don't want to store. I want to see how many people in the chat first. Cause I don't know why I can't see it on here.
I'm just getting exposed here.
What you getting exposed for?
I played 2 games.
Let me see.
We have one Splatoon. Oh wait, you ain't even showing it. Okay, don't show it.
What are you talking about?
I play Splatoon, and then I play more Splatoon.
Y'all see him? Do y'all see him? You know what, Game Queen 81? This is gonna be your birthday present, okay? Look. I'm gonna send him. He's gonna be wrapped up in. He's gonna be wrapped up in what? What I'm gonna wrap you up in?
Garbage.
It's not gonna be any wrapping paper. Anyway.
Stuff to store it to the stream, but okay.
Well, I gave them opportunity to come. So you okay, Yeety in the chat. You ready, Yeety?
Let's look at someone get murdered.
You see, you good.
That's messed up.
All right, Game Queen 81. Look, I'm good too. I just can't get rid of them. So anyway, all right. Make sure you all give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Thank you all for watching. Here we go. Oops, I done pushed the wrong button.
This is a shame. This is a shame.
Shut up. Paused.
Plus.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why I forget to do all this before the stream.
Really? This is the most scuffed Apollo. I'm sorry we dishonored your game like this, Apollo.
Why is it paused?
Plus?
Okay.
Yeah. Or A. Oh, wait, no, it's good.
You said Hey Shermanator.
Hello.
Episode 1, Turnabout Trump, y'all.
Turnabout Donald? Oh, yeah. Showdown time. You lose. Ah! Ah! I seem to be in a bit of trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him. Hard. Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that.
April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3.
panicked. Palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. Good morning, sir. You look tense, Justice. Wound up tight. Wound up, sir? No! I'm loose! I'm fine! That screeching noise. Is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial, and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? I'm fine! I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice! Workout! I'm fine! That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to your screech. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine.
I'm laughing at that picture on the wall, yeah.
Get out somewhere! Get out somewhere!
Anyway.
I wouldn't want to let him down, if you get my drift. Drift got it, sir! I'm all over that drift! As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. You can't let this case fall through. Yes! Yes! I'm fine, sir! One more thing. Don't say you're fine quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing our case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I! I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him! No way! Whoa! Good, morning! Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial. Nervous. Beating him. Cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So, here... Fine! I'm fine! Mr. Fine, is it? I did remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me. Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. And he's your friend, so why? You'll see.
Sherlock Holmes could never.
Sherlock Holmes could never.
Hey, Granddaddy Otaku, how are you tonight?
You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you, I mean, it's time, shall we? Yes, sir! I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice!
April 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. The court is now in session.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is, fine! Ready, Your Honor! Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late!
I'm doing alright. Just relax and play some Persona 3 Reload, but
oh, beast.
I got a bit tired, so decided to chill. Yeah, I had just got up from a nap earlier. Your name was Mr. Justice? And this is your first trial?
Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really.
Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Gavin?
Yes, Your Honor.
I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case.
That was my intention, yes. However, the defense attorney must always cede to his client's wishes. My client specifically requested Mr. Justice.
You know how the first trials normally be on this game? They always start with a murder and a trial. It's like, you know how them what you call it? Like a tutorial case.
Yeah, tutorial case.
Yeah.
It's for babies, like me.
Well, of course he wants justice, but to entrust his case to this greenhorn white. I do not exaggerate when I say that you're the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin.
Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine. But does he have courts of steel?
And let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. It looks like Phoenix. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright.
Let's put the past behind us, shall we? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright, piano player.
What's wrong with Phoenix?
You'll see. Mr. Wright, how could this have happened?
It's law and order practice sessions.
Yep.
That's what it is. I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution would be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne.
To think, I saw you enter this room a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains.
Right, like what's wrong with Phoenix?
Ah, Winston Payne. Subtle as ever, I see. Ahem.
What's wrong with this dude's head?
Yeah, it doesn't do her style. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, took the victim, a customer.
Leave in chains sounds like a Saturday to me, yeah. What is going on?
And he hit him. Wham! On the head. Smack! Killed him cold.
A customer at the restaurant, you say? And the defendant, you say he was?
The pianist for the club, it seems.
Phoenix Wright? A pianist?
This is the weapon that took the victim's life. A bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice.
The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Deadly bottle added to the court record. Grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon. Where's the defendant, Mr. Wright's prince?
Something to note, Justice. All evidence is filed in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record? Right! I've heard of that! Use art to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, just use art. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action.
Right, with some grape juice.
Grape juice.
So the victim was a customer at the restaurant. But just who was this? Shady Smith's fellow.
We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor.
A traveler?
According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear.
And he had some sort of connection with the defendant?
That, too, is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Boys Bowl Club on the night of the crime.
If they had only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing.
That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least, not piano playing. I'll let this photo explain what I mean. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime.
Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in itself.
Indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basest sort of criminal.
Objection!
It's true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, a game, in the purest sense, a competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits, a silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs stretched in blue flame, know its final outcome.
Come again?
The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in an attempt to mystify those present and impress women.
That will be our first order of business here then, to find out more about this fatal game of chords. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime.
My pleasure. This is it, my first trial. Here goes nothing.
He's defending Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright.
Anyway,
You been up here before?
witness testimony. The competition.
I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game, and our customers are happy.
A pianist who can't play piano?
Better than a defense attorney who can't defend.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
Right, Your Honor. Our first cross-examination. Don't blow it.
So Phoenix looks guilty to me.
Phoenix looks guilty.
We send him to jail and go out for drinks and a friendly game of poker.
Yeah.
He do look kind of weird. Got all that stuff on his face.
Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy, too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir. You've watched me perform cross-examinations many times. Though you've never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Gavin for a refresher question cross-examination?
We know
I don't know how to do that. I don't think we've ever did that.
a cross-examination.
I don't think we've played 3 games where we did that. So,
Really? No, thank you.
no need for help here, sir. I think I've got this one covered. I think you'd better do more than think. You know it, or you do not. I'm fine. The courts of steel are ready for battle. My weapons, press, and present. Find any inconsistencies, any fibs in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies? Fibs? Phoenix Wright? As if! Phoenix Wright would never fib, and it's up to me to prove it!
The defense may begin the cross-examination. Did he even say anything?
No, we finna start it. We finna start it.
Actually, I think Apollo did it. Her just screamed, "Grape juice killer."
Yes.
It's her. It's weird.
All they heard is weird.
I don't know. Like a feather or something going in his head. Anyway. Cross examination. The competition. Did he say anything?
He finna say, he just,
Oh.
yes.
Oh. I forgot all about this.
You forgot all about that? You forgot all about that? That's a shame. That's a shame.
Anyway, I had forgot he had said that, y'all. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all.
Hold it! You can hardly play. Oh, I'll play sometimes, when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large.
They started talking all that time, Game Queen 81. I forgot he had said anything.
They wanted to see if he wanted a tutorial.
Then why are you really at the Bush Folk Club? My real job is to take on interested customers over at the poker table.
Hold it! They pay you just to play poker? Yeah, it is. It's turned down for me. That would seem to be the case. I am a professional after all.
Don't feel too bad. I remember who I am sometimes. I barely remember who I am sometimes. I'm starting to think I'm the grape juice killer. Hey, look. It could be anybody, Granddaddy. I talk a look.
It's me, I did it. It's me, I did it. Ah, do I detect pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. What? I've played poker for 7 years in that little room. And I've never lost once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you've never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? Is that even possible?
The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions.
The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction? That's quite a history, actually. The Borscht Bowl Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past. Things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table.
That pain is innocent. There is a crime. It surely is. I wonder why he grew it out. I don't know.
Because he liked his hat. Right there in that room.
A smoky room, gambling hoods, you know. Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad.
The bosses gather around the table, cutting deals, safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, the goon keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but okay. The first stumble. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steeped in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun.
The sentences are longer on here.
The sentences are longer, yes, alright.
Not longer. He got more sentences. Anyway, the rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards.
2 decks of cards? A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate 2 decks, no one can slip in cards.
There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor.
Precisely. Cards on the table, cards upon the floor.
You see, the beanie is a crime too. I guess he didn't want to show his spiky hair, huh?
Spiky hair. Each one forming a complete deck. The crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we use 2 types of cards at the club. One deck of cards is red, the other blue.
As I recall, in poker, you make 5 card hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat.
Yes, a game of hands.
Competition you were talking about.
Yeah,
they go ring. Anyway, I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently.
That's right! It was a simple game after all!
Are you sure?
Huh?
People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room that very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime.
Now that's strange.
What's strange?
I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this point is against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense.
Right, the judge, guilty too. Look.
I completely let that one slip by! Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right, there's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not?
Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony.
Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony!
His head looks like it's about to fly off. I
pledge silence regarding the murder, but I will say, I never touched a murder weapon. Hold it! Silence? The defendant has the right to refuse to testify. I haven't forgotten everything about the law. But why? That clearly puts you at a disadvantage! And it's your job to turn that around in our favor, yes? Great. Like I didn't have enough to do already. Justice, didn't you detect anything odd about that testimony? Huh? Wait, something you said did ring a little strangely. Just one thing. Now what was it? When you figure it out, I suggest presenting evidence. Evidence that contradicts the testimony. A contradiction in Mr. Wright's testimony? But why? I'd better check the court record. I can't imagine Mr. Wright fibbing in a testimony. Isn't it a little early to be jumping to conclusions? This is your first cross-examination. Take it slow. If you need more information, don't forget to press. Right! I got it! I'm fine! Time to listen to that testimony again. My beanie looks stupid. You know it. Okay, let's go.
What the PA mean?
Phoenix attorney?
I don't know. I'm a pianist by trade, yet I need to get the court record.
Look at my drip. Look at this chain.
Tiny back. How long did I yearn for one of these?
Press A. Press A. We on the DS, baby. You're gonna have to do this again.
You're gonna have to do that again. How can you do that?
I use the touchscreen, but you can use the controller.
I feel like this whole courtroom is guilty.
Everybody did it. Everybody did it.
It's probably
the murder was all of us.
The time of death was around 2 a.m. April 17th. Death caused by a single blow to the forehead. He said, "You had on the hat. How you get hit and died?" Anyway,
Smooth criminal.
it's a smooth criminal. Grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon bears defendants Mr. Wright's prints. Why didn't that break? It's that hard that it didn't break? And you didn't kill somebody?
Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently, it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht. I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Okay,
What's the contradiction?
By trade, yet I can hardly play at all. My real job is to take on interested customers over the poker table. The room where we played and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. I only saw 1 deck. That's all it is, a game, and our customers are happy. It's silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Andy, are you okay? Well, that's the contradiction right there.
What you talking about? I don't see nothing. I'm just kidding.
He said he didn't touch the murder weapon, but they said his prints is on there.
I mean, he could be telling the truth. We just don't know it. I'm just kidding. Let's go. Objection! So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said.
Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb.
You know, flip their hair. What's this, Mr. Payne?
I examined the bottle in question, you see. And it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Objection!
No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine.
Excess yelling can damage the judge's ears and our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on the bottle in the restaurant?
Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove anything.
Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon were upside down.
Upside down? What does that mean?
It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can only be one reason for that. Yes! To brain someone with the bottle! Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worse. Oh? I see no problem, Justice. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything. You'll see.
Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court?
I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now.
Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case.
I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason.
Objection!
Your Honor, seem to have forgotten something.
And what might that be, Mr. Gavin?
On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police?
Reported?
Well, that was the defendant, Mr. Wright. But still, that's...
Really?
Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at a diagram of the murder scene, shall we? The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from the ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. The defendant used the stairs in the hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant.
I see, and this is the phone that made the call? Right cell phone added to the court record used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant's first floor. I noticed his hat said Papa.
What? Huh? What?
You see it?
Oh, what, Papa? No, what? No, huh? The defendant could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative? Yes, Mr. Uncooperative. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not waste this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... What was it you said? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred? How can you possibly know this?
That's a good question. How indeed?
The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room the night of the crime? That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready?
Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. What in the world?
The witness will state her name and profession. She sounds Russian, by the way. Russian. 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 Russian.
She gonna be American today.
She gonna be American today.
Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness?
I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. So I used a little hair gel. Relax, people.
Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. You sure? Promise it on my gavel. Please come out.
Isn't violence against hair a crime, Your Honor?
Well, if you are sure, it is okay. Now, the prosecution... Well, wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witness's paraphernalia?
Yes. She is a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade.
And that would be? My name is Olga Orley. I am employed as a waitress in Borscht Bowl Club restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve borscht. How you pronounce that word? Borscht, that is
Borscht.
name in restaurant. But I also perform how it is said other service. I take it one of these other services is taking the customer's pictures. I like, for example, this one. That's the defendant.
Indeed, on the night of the murder.
Man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Order, order. This is quite a piece of evidence to casually drop into our laps. It is the same way as I drop cold bowls of bush on laps of customers casually. Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Oka's photo added to the court record. The defendant and Mr. Smith at Bush Bowl Club.
Now, witness, where were you at the time of the murder?
I was in the room. The hideout, we call it.
Excuse me? The hideout?
It is the room where famous gangsters Bad Guy was arrested. What's his name? Bad Guy? Bad Guy?
That guy. Get it? Bad guy?
This room where murder took place.
What?
The look of utter surprise is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Dada photos will be numbered, and you will write which ones you want a copy of.
So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley, our witness. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means...
Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. Witness testimony. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold. Both players played with hats on. Dark. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on lock. With his hand on locket at his neck. Then last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Dark. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death. Incidentally, who won the game?
Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith.
Objection!
That's ridiculous! Because Mr. Wright can't lose! Justice? Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection? But he hasn't lost in 7 years! Take it from me, kid. It happens. I didn't lose a case for my 7 years as a prosecutor either. Incidentally, I have some evidence here. These are the poker chips as they lay at the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith.
Chips, you say?
Yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils.
I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
I think he means poker face.
Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Chips photo added to the court record. Defendants and victims' chips when crime took place. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Cross-examination. The fateful night. At night, customer asked me to deal cards for the game.
Hold it!
You were dealing cards? Do you do this often?
I am doing this. If customer wishes it, I serve anything. Borscht, cards, more borscht. It is my work. It's good to hear of a place that hasn't forgotten the meaning of service. Welcome you to Borscht Bowl Club, where borscht is as warm as the waitresses.
Thank you for not handing out flyers during the cross-examination.
It was cold. Both players played with hats on. Dark.
It's already April. How could it be cold?
At Borscht Bowl, we have pride on authentic rustic Russian restaurant theme. Outside it is city in spring, but inside it is as always as cold as Mother Russia.
No way am I going there.
When it comes to hot borscht, cold is best seasoning. Dog. I should say dog.
Da.
The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck.
His locket?
I believe it was good luck, charm, dog. He gripped it many times as he played that night. Yes, he must have felt as though it might carry him to the moon and the stars. So if it were small enough to fit around his neck, it wouldn't have much lift.
The defense would like a clarification. This is a locket we're talking about? I mean, a pendant with a picture in it, right? Not a rocket.
Of course I knew that. It was probably a pendant shaped like a rocket. That's why she called it that.
No, a locket's a locket. It doesn't matter what shape. It's considered bad form to poke fun at the hard of hearing in our society. Hard of hearing or hard of understanding? So, what happened next?
Then the left hand is done, but something terrible has happened, dog.
Something terrible?
The defense will refrain from needless shouting.
Sorry. I need to seriously reconsider this vocal training thing. Now, Miss Orly, can you tell us what happened?
Oh, I was so frightened, dog. I trembled with fear. That man flew at victim and is strangling him to death.
But the defendant would never do such a thing!
Well, now, I can't say I've ever heard the defense try this tactic.
If possible, please, refrain from embarrassing me.
Still, why would anyone do something like this over a game of poker? Perhaps it is because the defendant has lost game?
Yes, a crushing defeat for a man undefeated. So it always is with men like him. Winners make sore losers. Oh, how the mighty fall. Go ahead. I believe you know what it is you need to do. Right, sir. Leave it to me. There were only 3 people in the room at the time of the murder. The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and if Mr. Wright isn't the killer. I've got you now, Orly! You figured it out?
Oh, she said he was strangling, but he died by blunt force trauma.
Madame? I'm just kidding, Madame.
Let me see.
I had gloves too big for her hands.
It's the Russian style.
Yeah, it's Russian style.
Death caused by a single blow to the forehead.
Objection!
Oh, really? Strangled, you say? That's odd.
Normal customers only choke on borscht.
No, I mean this report shows that the victim died of a blow to the head. Miss Orly, really now? Did you witness the crime?
What's that she got in her hand? Looking at this picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything.
Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation.
Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? His head certainly was hit. The crime photo, too, added to the court record. Photo of forehead, hat removed during investigation. Is that what you was talking about, Plum?
No.
But I have seen it happen. The defendant, he lunged at victim his neck.
Oh, really, Miss O'Reilly? Oh, wait, I'm just messed up. Oh, really, Miss O'Reilly? I think I've caught you in your own fib this time. Justice, I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me.
Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination.
There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. Give me that attorney's badge. There's such a thing as thinking aloud too much, too.
Did they start over again?
They sent you back. They sent you back. Find another one.
That night, customer asked me to deal cards for game. It was cold, but both players played with hats on dark. The victim, he played whole time with his hands on locket at his neck. Let me see.
He has to lock it there. He had a hot pocket too. That thing looks scrumptious. Give me that junk, bro. Hey man, can you order me a hot pocket for $5?
Then last hat is done.
Did you just get a new piece of evidence?
Did I? Let me see.
Yeah, you did.
Ah, this thing here.
Examine it closely. Look at it.
Where the locket is? Where the locket?
Where's the locket? I gave that one away to you right in the shop.
Nah, you didn't. Well, you kind of did mention the locket earlier. Let me see. The victim, he plays whole time with his hand on locket at his neck. Let me see. Should I present that?
Yeah. Objection! You know, there was one curious point in her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean?
Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what is it you're thinking so intensely about?
Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on his locket at his neck, I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean?
If we were to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death.
Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It is quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean... The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it?
Oh.
Eric?
The defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say.
Yes?
I just noticed this, but You have something hanging around your neck, don't you?
Oh? You mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter.
Daughter?
Come again?
Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that? This is just a coincidence.
Right, can't create it.
Papa.
Well, now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of this game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary.
Who's the baby mama? Who's the mama?
Shut up! Shut the word! Get out of why you say that? Okay, let's go. Let's go. It's clear that the defendant lost badly.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and defendant. The dog. You was thinking the same thing. Witness testimony. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 points in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant played with all chips on table and loose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
How many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger. Your Honor, don't come and tell, but true.
Oh wait, we have a pistol weapon.
Okay.
If you ever miss a line, you just go back and read it.
Okay. 'Cause, they just went on. I didn't read it. I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. They come and tell, but true.
Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hadn't lost in 7 years, so his testimony must be wrong.
Cross-examination. Serious competition. The game began with 3,500 points in chips for each man.
Hold it! Were those the usual starting points? Were any special rules used?
No, not special. Usual game. Usual rules. Each man began with 3,500 points. Then the total would be exactly 7,000 points.
Please, this isn't calculus. It's not even long division.
These chips come in two sizes, small and large.
Hold it! Oh, the chips in this photo? All the chips that were used?
Of course.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder?
Of course.
Always. Maybe you could explain a bit about these chips.
Explain? What is there to be explained?
Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fishing chips. Not a chip off the old block. Not a motorcycle cop. Not a... Thanks. Now that I've pressed her, I'd better ask something. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars? Or rubles even?
Rupees?
Rupees? Yes, sir.
as I have been saying before, I was game, not gambling. It was game rather hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. 2 types of chips, 100 points and chip, 100 points chip and 1,000 points chip. It is not money, dog.
Justice. Sir! Don't you find her comments interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself.
Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her testimony? Yeah, I guess.
Yes, I do think this deserves further testimony. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this.
Very well, witness, if she would be so kind. Your Honor. One kind of chip is worth 100 points. Other kind is worth 1,000. 2 kinds in all. Oops, do I supposed to press her on that?
I guess.
Hold it!
Mr. Gavin said this testimony is important. To be honest, I have no idea why.
Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. You are not in kindergarten.
Sorry, I'm fine. I'd better think of something to ask. And quick! The 2 types of chips.
Doc,
The small ones are 100, and the big ones are 1,000. Right, of course. Ha! Don't waste our time.
is that all? So Phoenix had more chips, well, more money, did he? Hold on. Let me see. So Phoenix had 1,000. That's 4,000, 4,100, and he only had 1, 2. Hold on, the big chips are.
The big chips are what?
Oh, I'm thinking the red chips are 1,000. So the big chips are 1,000, and the small chips are 100. So Phoenix had on his side 1,400.
Think outside the box.
Think outside the box.
Smaller doesn't always mean smaller.
Well, it could have been the bigger chips were, the smaller chips were more. Anyway. Is that all?
Yeah. Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her, and now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice. Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. You're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation?
The one who was winning, dog, it was victim. We already read this, didn't
If
we?
you embarrass me like that again, I'll beat you up.
Did we read this already?
I think.
Hold it!
You're telling me that Mr. Wright, undefeated for 7 whole years, was losing?
Dog, it must have been most unlucky day for him. I am glad I did not take other picture of him. It would break camera, certainly. The chips, they went always to victim's side of table.
So, you're telling us it was a one-sided game?
Not one-sided, and is that supposed to be y'all? Yeah?
I think. I don't know.
And for last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose.
Hold it!
Last hand?
It was largest points of any hand. The defendant's hand, it was excellent. He tried to use it to take victory from behind. It appears that both the defendant and the victim's hands are in this picture. That is truly an excellent hand, however, so is the victim's. One with highest number wins, so defendant loses.
The victim, Mr. Smith, had a stronger hand than the defendant and crushed him. I believe that explains what occurred next.
Once cards laid down on table, it happened. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from the table and...
Hold it!
And what happened next?
Even to think of it now, I shake and tremble. Duh. I did not believe such thing would happen.
What such thing?
Please, you must believe. I had no idea. How could such thing occur?
What such thing?
The defendant had been hitting victim. Duh, I saw it all happen right before me. I saw a bottle coming down on victim's head.
Decisive, isn't it, Your Honor? My witness saw the very moment of the crime. Remember, your first goal is to gather information. Yes, sir! Look out, contradiction. Here comes justice! Okay.
Alright. Not telling me.
This took me 50 hours to find out.
What kind of chip is worth 100 points? The other kind is worth 1,000. Two kinds in all. The one who was winning, it was victim. The last hand, defendant played with all chips on table and lose. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. What does that mean? See, I'm not a poker person, so I don't know. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottle from table and... One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 other larger chips on that other side. Let me look at the cards. I don't know. I don't know. Huh?
Do you want the help?
Say what?
Do you want the help?
What's available?
Do you want help?
Hold on. Do you know anything, Game Queen 81? Let me see.
You're on the right track with the chips.
Well, it could have been the other way around with how much they were worth, right?
Yep. So in that case, which one of her statements would be a contradiction?
I guess, is it this one?
No.
The one who was winning, it was victim. This will be probably the contradiction. For last hand, defendant played with all chips on table. And
He was right.
With,
He was right.
about what?
The other one.
This one here.
Hey.
I guess.
Objection!
You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure? It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten.
Just for safety's sake, Could you explain the problem to the court?
Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course. Duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips. And the combined total value of the chips was 7,000 points.
Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see, 3 plus 1 carry the 5. Hold on. So,
I don't care about math. No, don't do this. No.
1, that's 3, 6, 9, 10. That's 10 big chips. So they would have been like $10,000. And the smaller chips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what? Yeah, 600.
There you are, Your Honor. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100, and you add them up, how much is it? Do it yourself. You weren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction.
Starting points were wrong. Chip count was wrong.
Both were right.
What?
Both were Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney.
Really? 1, 2, 3. That's 6 chips. What they mean by that?
I don't know. They could have been more clear with that, but I'll just give it to you. That's the right one. Both were right.
Both were right?
I was kind of confused when I saw that too, because like that's not specific.
I don't know if in any way.
Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, then there can be only one answer.
Well, what is it?
The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness!
Show me the photograph of the chips again. But they don't equal $3,500 earned chips. I mean, 3,500 chips anyway. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice.
I don't know.
I have to count it anyway.
I'm dumb because I don't like math. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing!
Indeed, the victim did have the larger chips. Number of chips still. Oh.
Exactly.
Yep, the Phoenix would have been winning.
If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table.
The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points, and the defendant had 4,100 points.
Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's Impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning! Yuck! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips. Since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you?
Order, order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust. Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley? I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see,
See what, Miss Orley? What do we see?
in the last hand, there was cheat.
Cheat? You don't mean... a trick?
Wait, or do you mean a scam?
They're all the same thing.
Yes, there was cheat in the last hand. That is why game ends with chip as they are.
Great. Just great. First we have fibbing, now cheating. Well, this case suddenly has taken a turn. What interesting.
Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. Witness testimony. The final hand. The last hand, both men had full house. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. The next moment, game becomes argument. The defender's trick was exposed. He took the bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover-up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers.
A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience.
That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin? What's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker?
I can't say this bodes well for your case or career.
What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice? You know the terms. 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number make a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house.
I don't know that either.
You don't know your poker? That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can't see each player's hand. Oh, wait, no. You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
The defense may cross-examine the witness.
If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Who's ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat?
Cross-examination. The final hand. The last hand, both men had full house.
Hold it!
Just how hard is it to make a full house anyway?
It's quite hard, dog. It is making a pair and a three of a kind at the same time.
I guess that's right.
Very difficult to be sure. You can take my world as the poker head of courtroom number 3. Very difficult, dog. But it is not impossible.
Okay, full house, hard. That line of questioning, a waste of time.
There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king.
Hold it!
4 of each card, you say?
There is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is an interesting fact that the number 4 comes from number of seasons.
Huh? You don't say.
And did you know that the cards are numbered 1 through 13? And all the cards in a deck, and you get 364 a year. What?
Huh? You don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Thus, you have a perfect representation of the year, all in a deck of cards.
Huh? You don't say. We're gonna be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this.
If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious.
Hold it!
How was it clear?
Well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace.
5th ace?
I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's 2.
Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say, a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke.
Very well. The witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. How many aces in the deck? I don't know. Did they say?
Yes.
Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright has 2. It is 5 aces in all.
Hold it!
A 5th ace?
It should not exist, no? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces, and Mr. Wright's 2. Where did this card come from then?
Perhaps we should ask the defendant that very question. Adding cards to a deck is no less serious a taboo than forging evidence in a court of law.
Now, perhaps it's time for you to say something, Justice. You bet! I have no intention of staying quiet! Not me, sir! No, sir! I'd better find some contradiction evidence. I'm messing up. I'd better find some contradicting evidence. Fast! Wait, do you have some? Wait, go on your card right quick.
The next moment game.
Oh, wait. Right in there. Never mind. Keep pressing.
Keep pressing on.
The next moment game becomes argument. The defendant's trick was exposed.
Hold it!
Do you recall what the men were arguing about?
I believe so. The victim, he shouts, "You are a cheater," and then the defendant shouts something like, "I have no objection."
Shouting objection there. Old habits are hard to break. First he bluffed his way through the courtroom, now he bluffs his way through life.
Objection!
However, Mr. Wright lost a hand. That seems to cast a shadow of doubt on Mr. Smith.
humiliation from losing even when cheating. That is what set fire to defendant's heart. So what did the flaming defendant do next? He took a bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Hold it!
By bottle, are you referring to this?
Dodd, the defendant, uses this bottle to
The behavior is an admission of cheating by the defendant.
But why use a grape juice bottle?
You would be surprised at what can be used as a weapon.
This juice is recommended drink of Bush Bowl Club Dark. This year's vintage is remarkable for its healthy flavor.
Hefty enough to brain a grown man, apparently. First she said it was a serious competition. Now she says they were cheating. Justice, notice anything odd? Her testimony keeps changing. Now she says the defendant cheated. Actually, yes, I had noticed that. Let's get the truth about this cheating first, shall we? Right, leave it to me!
The last hand, both men had full house. Was that the last one?
Yeah. Alright, I forgot.
There's 4 each card in the deck from ace to king. Mr. Smith hand has 3 aces and Mr. Rice 2. It's 5 aces.
Check the hands.
He have 3 kings.
Hang!
He only had 2 aces in that in his hand, so I guess we can present that.
Objection!
It appears the witness is mistaken.
Mistaken? But my name.
Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony.
That's the photo of the chips, is it not?
Justice, perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point.
Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. What particular point contradicts the witness's testimony?
We're on the Nintendo DS, baby. Wait, no, I think they did this in their original too.
Where are you pointing at? The kings?
Point at the king!
Take me to the king?
Take man to the king!
Is that what we pointing at?
Yeah.
Take that!
You lost. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces.
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
Objection!
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where's this 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom.
Okay, you got some explaining to do. 2 aces in each player's hands does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating. Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. That was cheating. I promise.
That's odd. She must be fibbing, yet she's the most sincere I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what... Okay, who knows what lies in store for us in this trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion.
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards.
The courts?
Mr. Payne,
Yes?
the players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court.
Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards?
If these courts don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious?
Goodness. I guess the let me look at. Let me see. Well, Phoenix cards have an ace. Well, what is
Attorney?
that on that club? Why is there writing on that?
That's just how the card looks.
Whose hand looks suspicious?
Which hand was we just discussing?
The
Hang. Hang.
I don't know.
Well, we were just discussing the victim's hand like 2 seconds ago. Oh my god. It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. The defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Received evidence, victim's hand. Victim Smith's hand was left at the scene, a full house.
Well, time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir! We on the Nintendo DS, baby! When examining evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using to turn it every which way, and X and Y to zoom in and out. That should give you a better perspective on this case. Okay, let's do this!
Here we go. Here we go. What are we looking for? That's card right here is blue.
That's a blue boy. That's a blue boy.
Well, has the defense found anything of relevance?
You did not click it. You were supposed to click it.
What's that? That's a relevance. Let me see.
Only one of the cards has a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue is so not red, you know. Yes.
He happy now, y'all.
I'm super happy. Plus, to present the attorney's badge. I think I found out that I found nothing, but perhaps you would best examine the defendant's cards before leaping to any conclusions. Or maybe you'd rather examine these cards one more time. Well, do I examine the other hand of cards?
Do I need to?
I don't know. That's what I did. That's what I did.
You examined the other hand?
I examined the victim's hand. I forgot the case. I probably led you wrong. Let's do it. Guess I'll examine Mr. Wright's cards. Your Honor, the defense requests time to examine Mr. Wright's hand.
Granted, but make it quick, Mr. Justice. Received evidence, Wright's hand.
Don't worry, Justice. It's always swift. I guess. That's it.
I guess Phoenix ain't got no blue card in his hand.
That's it.
Huh?
Oh, you gotta look at it. On the back.
I know, I pressed the wrong button.
The card backs are red. For some reason, I thought they were using blue cards in the final hand. Didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Huh? Oh, which was it now? Wait, what kind
Really?
of...
Well, has the defense found anything they would like to share with the court?
Not unless you count utter confusion.
You saw a blue court. How are you confused?
Why? Perhaps you would best examine the victim's court. Wait, yes. Okay, I think I know what you did wrong. You're supposed to examine the victim's court and then specifically the blue one.
Examine.
Yeah, examine the other hand. What?
Hold on, this Phoenix hand right here.
We are on the Nintendo DS. I just want you to know that. We on the Nintendo DS.
What you mean?
And we're adding cool gimmicks to the video game that you will really enjoy. This is necessary to make the game better, bro. Justice is not swift in this case. You're supposed to look at that one specifically. What? Your Honor, look at this! One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color!
Did we click on that though?
No, I think you clicked on the red one on accident.
That's impossible. But I put that card in right hand. She said she put. she just admitted she cheated.
What's up with that, Miss Orley?
Yeah, I merely said I have eek.
Your Honor.
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley? She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager.
Order.
Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. Your Honor. Please recall the testimony we just heard.
That's impossible. I put that card in right hand.
Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, but not with my client. But with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith! Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim. What?
Wait, you don't mean the defense isn't accusing the witness, Miss Olga Orley, are you?
Time for justice! There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of the murder.
Her stuff landed so perfectly. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice?
Your Honor!
It seems you represented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means?
This court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What? I did it! I held out!
I see no point in prolonging this trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries.
Objection!
Mr. Wright? can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the courts had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right when we have to get you off the hook? Ridiculous!
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know, Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night.
I don't like his new objection. As we said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before!
The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, the decks might get mixed. We used different colors and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game.
I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you are using the blue cards.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was cheating.
Yes. No, why did I say that? Yes, a card slipped into the deck which seemed to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo?
Yes?
Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Well, yeah! Thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped.
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck?
When?
When?
Is there anything in the court record that would indicate?
I think you just have to make an assumption.
Before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder?
My forehead is so big. I hope no one roasts me about it later on in the game.
Really do. I just say before.
No.
It wasn't before?
Nuh-uh.
But after?
What's your thought process on that one?
Well, I don't know. I guess they could have swapped it out after they were
after the
murdered.
murder.
During the murder, they murdering. So why could they do it?
Perhaps it happened after the murder.
What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly!
Objection!
Yes, but tell me. How do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Oh? Even the backs of the cards are a different color. If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time.
Oh,
Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown, after the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that?
That's to make it seem like they were cheating.
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us.
Cause she said she thought she put that in Wright's hand, right?
Mhm.
There's another.
Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and the murder is done. The victim's dead. Only 2 remain in the room, alive that is. The defendants, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so who was it that swept the red card for a blue?
It was Olga Orley.
No,
What?
no.
Why you say that? It wasn't her? Or someone else? It wasn't Phoenix. I thought it was her.
No.
Somebody that was investigating?
Just click the button. The one who swapped the course wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either.
She said she didn't try to put that in his hand anyway. What are you suggesting?
It's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know! But she was the one who dealt the course, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card.
And if the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you would like to share with the court, Mr. Wright?
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it?
Yeah. Well, that is the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to see the case take a new direction.
A new direction?
We'll find that indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made 2 critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know 2 colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right. The person replaced the 5th ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a 5th ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. So they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of a 4th person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright.
This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room.
I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption.
The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court.
I suppose that is a problem, yes.
Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. Almost 2 hours. April 20th, 11:52 a.m. District Court defended lobby number 3.
That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice? Yes, sir? The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. Did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear. Is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You wondering about the victim's disappearing locket? Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there.
She don't look like Maya.
Really? Get us over! Get us over! I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never! Honest! But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Tries they might to conceal it. Everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end.
He still got that megatoma, don't he?
Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret to you. But I'm not worthy. I'm not Edgeworth. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals.
Edgeworth. Edgeworth is a prosecution.
Yes. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. I almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it! I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my courts of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.
To be continued.
Remember I told you it's long?
I see it was a long one. Goodness.
Don't save all my game.
Why did you do that anyway? What y'all think about that one? Do y'all like the game?
Papa, right?
Do y'all like? I see that they changed like the
Yeah, they changed the
animation.
visuals. And they can do fancier animations like that. That when she throws up her little pots.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you
It's
like it?
alright. It's okay. That was just the first trial, so.
It was all fun to me first when I saw it. I kind of warmed up to it though.
But long, yes it was. Game Queen 81. We'll see. You said all of them.
The second part gonna be longer.
Is it?
Yep.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that one tomorrow. Or should I do it tomorrow
You can do
or?
it tomorrow.
I don't know.
It's still early.
Might have to start early. But anyway, I appreciate you all for watching tonight. And yeah, I guess we'll come back later. Alright, we had Game Queen 81 in the chat. Happy birthday again, Game Queen 81. Alright, Yeety and Granddaddy Ataku we had in the chat. And yeah, I guess I will let you all go. If you're watching and you're liking what you see, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you don't mind hitting the like button for me as well, I'd appreciate it. And I will talk to you all on the next one. You all take care.